I hated Kobe Bryant. But once they both retired, it was like an instant switch for both of them,
Right.
where it
Yeah.
was like, wow, okay, now I just respect you as a person because they're good dudes. All right, let's go, baby. We're back. Episode 2. We are here again. Another Friday night and another night that quarantine has got us drinking probably a little bit too early. But that is what it is. So we're here and we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
Word. What are you drinking?
I am drinking for a shot.
Yeah.
I threw a little coffee in with some Jefferson Reserve whiskey.
That's kind of fucked. You're drinking coffee and whiskey.
So yeah, I poured a shot and then I threw some coffee in with it. Yeah.
Okay. Just to point out, what time is it right now?
4:15.
Okay. And did you not say last episode you will not drink a coffee?
I know. I know.
I believe the direct
Like,
quote was, if I wake up late, like past 10 o'clock, I won't have a coffee.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and I
there's an
said
asterisk.
I don't do the afternoon coffee, but today I am. I'm going for it.
Yeah. So there's an asterisk there when you said that. You will only drink coffee late in the afternoon if it's with alcohol.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
How about you? What are you drinking?
I have my little baggie of Crown Royal.
I don't know.
So I'm going to have some Crown Royal today.
Nice.
Honestly, never really liked Crown Royal.
Love it.
Bought it the other day at not the grocery store, but the liquor store that day that I went out and dropped like $160 on booze. And it's definitely paid off. I haven't had to go back to buy booze, but I currently right now love Crown Royal.
Yeah. You got to get the Northern Harvest Rye.
Is that Crown Royal?
Yeah.
Oh, well then I need to get some of that. Shall we rip it down?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cheers to another episode. I'm just going to straight from the bottle because I don't have a shot glass.
That's fine. That's fine. Cheers.
There we are.
Delicious.
And I'm just going to be drinking it straight today, honestly.
Cool. Neat, huh? No ice, no nothing?
Obviously,
no ice.
But like, I haven't drank all week, so I feel like today I need to get a little extra drunk. I made it a point to not drink from last Sunday to today, because if you saw the Instagram video I put out on Sunday with the quarantine culata, if you don't follow us on Instagram, go follow us on Instagram. Dads being dudes with an underscore in between each word. That video I blacked out on Sunday.
Yeah, that was a lot of booze, dude. That must have been you drank the whole fifth.
I drank it in 45 minutes.
You put the whole fifth in the blender.
I put the entire fifth in the blender with maybe 5 pineapple chunks and a couple little things of ice and maybe half a cup of coconut milk.
So I think I talked to you like an hour after you did that. And I didn't even know you did it, but you could tell you were cooking, dude.
Yeah, I did FaceTime you. That was the point where I like started the blackout. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. Justine had told me there was little stories that came out all week about how, because I tried to play it off the next morning as if I wasn't that hammered. I was like, yeah, I think I got like on the verge of blackout, but like I think I was good. I remember everything else. Don't remember most of it. She said I was cooking dinner and I just took one of the things of seasoning and just started throwing it over my head in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, and she wasn't even mad at me.
No, that's good.
She's a saint. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Good for you.
I think what happened was that Ashlyn and Ronnie came over. I think I told you that. We did like a nice little social distancing thing. They were in the driveway and we just kind of hung out and shot the shit for a little bit. But I asked them if they wanted a drink and that was like right as I'd already had 2 cups of the pina colada. So most of it was gone. I just had like a little bit left. And then Ashlyn said she would take a Truly. So then I also got a Truly. And then that sent me on a spiral of then drinking like 4 to 5 Trulies on top of that 5th of Malibu. And so I was just gonzo.
Yeah, that was next level, dude. That was next level. When you FaceTime me, I could tell you were on your way.
Yeah. Anything for the gram. Anything for the gram, right? Cool. Real quick, I wanted to ask this earlier, and I'm glad we just talked about spending so much money at the liquor store. Because have you been going to the grocery store?
No, I've been doing pickup.
What,
I've
like
just
the
had to
Hannaford
throw it in
pickup?
the back of the truck. Huh?
Like the Hannaford pickup?
Yeah, but we've been doing Walmart
Oh,
pickup.
really?
So with Walmart, you can actually, I don't know. Yeah, Walmart's one of them where you can get like from the frozen aisle and
Yeah.
refrigerator aisle and all that stuff. So,
So
yeah,
you just pull in and they just drop it off in your cart or in your
yeah, they
truck.
get you select a time and then you go. Like, so I had to do it 4 days in advance. So then we went after 4 days of ordering it and just backed in, pulled in. They threw it in the back of the truck and we left.
That's pretty interesting. Have you been
Yeah,
spending more money because you're home now?
yeah, yeah. I think that was almost $300 in the which I don't know if I've ever spent $300 on grocery shopping.
Dude, yeah. I went today during my lunch break. I went down to BJ's and I went to Market Basket as well. I dropped $200 at BJ's and then I dropped another 160 or 170 at Market Basket. So $400 on groceries.
I feel like and you just moved in the house, so right now things are going to be expensive because you almost like if you're cooking for a recipe and it's like, oh shit, we don't have any
Mhm.
this seasoning, this seasoning, this seasoning. So now you have to buy everything that's going to last you into the upcoming year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When it comes to seasonings, whatever else.
I'm not gonna lie, we haven't even done that. We've never
Yeah.
bought like stuff for recipes, but just the things we did buy, like I'm buying things I would never buy in a million years. Like I'm someone who I don't really eat bread. Like I just don't eat bread. We don't eat sandwiches. We don't like to eat bread. Like if I'm gonna eat some carbs, I want it to be like rice or pasta. I don't want it to be bread. I bought fucking a loaf of bread, a ciabatta roll that was like 2 feet long. I also bought 12 sausage rolls. I bought 12 sausage rolls for the 4 pounds of sausage I bought 2 weeks ago. And then to top it off, I bought another 18 sausages today.
Yeah.
I still have at
That's
least two
a good
pounds in
idea,
the
though.
freezer.
It's not a bad idea because a lot of these meat places are starting to shut down. I saw on
Yeah.
the news this
Yeah, that makes
Tyson
sense.
Tyson's shutting down, and so yeah, you want to get on that.
We have a shit ton of frozen meat and frozen vegetables and all that. Honestly, I'm not mad about it. I feel like a big boss when I'm like at the store and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna get this. Because Justine's not coming. Because with her being pregnant, I don't want her to like go in public right now. I feel like a boss until I pull back into the driveway. And she always wants to look at the receipts because I don't even know why. She just like double checks the receipts. I have no idea why. But so I can't even lie to her about how much I spent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I came in today and she's like, do I even want to know how much you just spent? I bought a fucking garden hose.
Well, that you need it. You're gonna need that.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it, but I don't need it right now.
Yeah. Right. Right. But you will need it. That wasn't a bad purchase.
I will.
That's
Yeah.
now you're gonna be buying random stuff, but
Oh yeah.
it's all gonna be worth it.
Yeah. There's just so many things I like didn't need that I bought. Like I bought 2 snack packs of like mini Oreos and mini chocolate chips.
Yeah.
Would never have done that ever.
Yeah. You need stuff to eat when you're sitting on the couch all
Yeah.
day.
It
You
is what
know.
it is, exactly. Well, at least
Yeah.
like, right now I still have like work to do. So I'm working from home. So at least right now I'm still like I have that. Whereas yeah, if I wasn't working, I'd be mowing down food nonstop all day long.
Me.
Yeah. Just endless
Yeah.
snack.
Starting to see it in my face and in my stomach.
Are you doing any workouts or anything?
Yeah, I've been cruising on the mountain bike, just trying to get out.
Right.
Which usually, if Ollie goes to sleep, I'll just go cruise around the block
Yeah.
for as long as I possibly can. So, yeah, I'm trying to get out, be active.
It's not a bad idea. Not a
Yeah.
bad idea at all. Yeah, I'm trying to do like YouTube home workouts. They're pretty good, but it's just not the same as like going to a gym, you know?
They suck, dude.
Yeah.
There's nothing fun about doing home workouts.
Yeah. Like I enjoy the workouts because they're things I never would have done, like jumping jacks, jump rope, high knees, like butt kicks, like different variations of like burpees, pull-ups, like or not pull-ups, but like push-ups, like just like arm circles for 60 seconds that like actually get
Yep.
my arms tired. Stuff like that that I never would have done before. But like I've been doing them, and yeah, it's bad. All right, let's kick it off. Today, our episode is titled, Dude, You're Gonna Be a Dad. I think that's the moment when we all kind of shit ourselves a little bit. No one necessarily wants to admit some of the thoughts that they had. I think a lot of dads are supposed to have this. It's one of those moments where you're supposed to have a reaction, which I never thrive in those moments.
No, me neither.
Those are the most awkward moments of my life.
Yeah, yep.
Because I know I'm supposed to have a reaction.
Right. And then you're almost acting out a reaction, but like,
yeah, you just kind of act it. You're like, oh my God, like I don't even know. You just fake it. You fake it, honestly. That's what our episode's going to be today. How we found out, what our reactions were, how we told people, our friends, family, that type of stuff. When we told people, that's always a big topic. How we did the gender reveal, if we did one. And then we're going to get into a couple other things like top 5 favorite, not basketball players, but top 5 favorite athletes of all time, maybe some music, stuff like that, and get into that there. So what do you want to do? You want to go first, or you want me to go first on how we found out and what our reactions were?
Go right ahead. You let them know.
I don't know how much information I can give out here. There was a joke. Let's just say there was a joke that led to some things. There's an inside joke in our relationship that led to some things that were kind of a joke, but led to us having a baby. And I was someone who always was like, when I was around the age of, when I was a teenager, I always wanted to have a kid when I was like 25.
Yeah.
My mom had me when she was 36, so my parents were a little bit older. So I always wanted to have a kid when I was young. So I always imagined like 25 is the latest I'm ever going to have a kid. Then I got to 25 and I was like, no, I don't want a kid right now. But we both flip-flopped for a while. Like Justine would be like, she would say, I want to have a kid. And I would say, I don't know about that right now. And then we'd flip-flop and I would be like, I want to have a kid. And she would say, I don't want to have a kid. So we'd always flip-flop. And then, so I guess that's a long story, but like to get to the point, like when it came time for us to have a kid, I did want to have a kid. And I had expressed that I had wanted to have a kid for a long time. But then we got to the day, I remember the day clear as night, clear as day. I couldn't say day twice in a row, so I just made up clear as night. And that doesn't make sense because night's pretty dark. It was a day I was sick. I called out of work and everything. I woke up at like 10 and I had messaged my manager and I was just told him, hey, I'm sick. I'm not coming in today. I need to just relax. I might get some work done from home, but like I'm just chilling. And so I go out onto the couch on my work laptop. Justine's acting super weird. And I'm just sitting there. I open my laptop. I'm about to get to work. And she goes, hey, can I stop you for a second before you start doing any work? She had a robe on, like say she had a shirt on under it and she had like her robe on. And then she just drops her robe in front of me and just has her shirt on. Like she didn't drop down naked, but she has her shirt on. And her shirt says, I'm a mom. I totally got this. And I just stared at it. And I read it in my head. I'm a mom. I totally got this. And I remember I had the thought, but you're not a mom. Why would you be wearing that shirt? I don't get it.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm thinking it's a joke. So in my head, I'm like, this isn't very funny. You're not a mom. I don't understand what the joke is about the shirt. And then she goes, I'm pregnant. And my response was, are you sure? And she goes, yeah, I'm pretty positive. And I go, prove it. And so she goes and gets the test that she had taken and shows me. And I'm like, holy shit. And I was happy. Obviously, I was happy. And
right.
I was ecstatic about the fact that we're going to have a kid. I think it's awesome. But within 2 to 3 minutes, I got instantly pissed. I had just spent thousands of dollars on her Christmas gift, which was a trip for us to go stay 2 nights in Times Square and see her favorite. She's the biggest Harry Potter fan ever. See the play on Broadway, part 1 and part 2. I had just spent thousands of dollars to go see that. And I made her those custom tickets. I made everything because they didn't have tickets. So I had to make like fake tickets to give her as a gift. And I was legit pissed because I wanted us to go to New York City and get drunk. And my immediate thought was like, oh my God, now she can't drink. And I'm taking her to New York City to her favorite play. I thought we were gonna like go to the play, go out to dinner, go out into like a club, get hammered, because we don't even go to clubs. We don't even like that shit. But if you're on
Right.
vacation, fuck it, go do it, you know?
Yeah.
So my immediate reaction was like, oh my God. And then my reaction was like, am I supposed to not drink? Because she's not drinking now? Am I gonna go to New York City and I just spent thousands of dollars and now I can't even drink? Are you kidding me? Like, and then I had like a couple of days to like sit on it and I didn't voice that. But then I eventually voiced it to her, like, super happy we're having a kid, but I'm a little upset we're taking our vacation now.
Yeah. Right. Right. Oh yeah.
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 Actually, you know what? I couldn't even voice that until I gave it to her. So I couldn't voice it until right before the vacation. I think
Right.
I told her on our way because Christmas was the 25th. We were staying there from like the 28th to the 30th. So I told her like on our way there, and she laughed. She thought it was like funny, but not that I was like upset we were having a kid. I'm super happy we're having a kid and still am. That was just my immediate reaction. And I think a lot of people out there, like a lot of dads, think like they have to be super stoked.
Right.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
you don't have to be super stoked.
Yeah. Exactly.
Being pregnant sucks. Like, your wife being pregnant sucks. And Justine's had a great pregnancy, besides the fact that she got like some like autoimmune. Oh, that's not the right word. I don't think that's the right word. But like she was sick, like with a super bad cold for like the first trimester. So instead of your typical morning sickness, she was sick with a cold. And I would just get annoyed when she was sick. I was just like, oh, fucking Christ, you have a cold. Like, how long is this damn cold gonna last? But not her fault. But pregnancy sucks, whether your wife is just sick like that or whether she's throwing up all the time. No one wants to deal with that. And obviously they have it way worse than us. We have absolutely nothing to deal with. But let's be honest, it's annoying when the person you're with is sick all the time. You know, like, just call it spade a spade. Like, that's the case. So I feel like a lot of people don't voice those things, and a lot of people are hesitant to say those emotions, whereas I think we all feel them.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be fun. You're excited, but there is going to be, well, we can't drink together for the next 9 months. Like, Hannah's been breastfeeding, so she's been trying not to drink lately. She's like, she asked me the other day, she's like, do you ever miss like us drinking together? I'm like, yeah, it's almost been like a year. It's been like a year since we drank together.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird to think about, you know?
That sucks.
So yeah, it does suck. Yeah. So
and Hannah loves the party, like, not like party like crazy excessively, but like she loves to have fun, like have some people over, have a grill. Like, you guys had a couple parties this past summer that I'm sure she would have loved to have been drinking at.
Right. But it's funny because now I think she would rather be a mom than have a drink. So yeah, that's good. It's better than the alternative of, oh, I wish I could friggin' drink right now, but the damn kid, you know?
Yeah, so, for sure. There's definitely a fine line with like all of that. And we talked about that last episode, but yeah, there's certain things that obviously suck. It's just people are scared to say that stuff. Not everything has to be like sunsets and rainbows, you know?
Right.
Not everything has to be happy. Just because you're having a kid, yeah, it's a super happy moment. Like, I am the happiest I've ever been. I am dying to have a little kid. Like, I can't wait to have a little son who's going to be there with us. Like we talked about last time, to like play sports with and stuff like that. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be sick. But doesn't mean everything's going to be sick. Like, there's no like, just on the whim of a moment, your friend texts you and says they're having a barbecue or having a party. You can't just hop in your car and go over there and both get drunk and stay the night. You have a kid.
Right.
You know? So one, you just don't go. Or two, you go, bring your kid, but you're way more responsible than you would have been because at least one of you is not drinking, if not both of you, because you got to go home and raise your child, you know? So.
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts. That's what happened to us, though. So that's how I found out. That was my reaction. And at the end of it, I was super stoked. That, like, me being mad about the whole not drinking thing in New York was like a minute, like a day. And then that was it. And when I say mad, I mean, like, I was like, ah, oh, shit, that kind of sucks. Was not actually mad. Was just like,
right. Oh yeah,
sucks.
Right. Yeah.
So, what about you? So all right. So I know how you told other people, but I've actually never heard what your reaction was, or how you even found out.
How I found out was I got home from work one day. It was funny because just walking in the house, Hannah's like, she's like standing kind of at the bathroom door, like kind of coming out of the bathroom. Hey, what's up, babe? And she's like, hey, guess what? I was like, what? we have a cat, right? An indoor
Yeah.
cat. Name is Mello. You met Mello. You don't really like Mello due
No,
to your allergy.
I hate your cat. I hate cats. I hate all
It's a
cats.
cool cat, but you just can't be around cats.
Yeah.
What we meant to say. So he goes, Mello is going to be a big brother. I was like, no way, we're getting a kitten? This is great. I love cats. I love cats. And she goes, no, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, oh. And so, like, right then and there, it's like, you think you're getting a kitten, you're getting a new cat. I'm a cat guy, so I'm stoked. And then she's like, no, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And then, like you said, it's like, you're trying to, like, in your head, I think it's just like when you find out, it's like all tears and, oh my God, this is going to be amazing and this and that. But it really wasn't that way. It was just like, a hug, and I'm super pumped. And you're not like making up the emotions, you know what I mean? But kind of like, oh, cool, you're pregnant. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
So that's how I found out.
What did you guys do after that?
What do you mean?
Like, you found out, and then were you just like, ah, cool, and like went back to your normal day, or were you guys like?
No, it was pretty crazy. We talked for a while and just kind of took it all in. And yeah, it's not like we went out and I don't think we went out and celebrated or anything. We might have, but I think it was just kind of talked about it, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, I think we just went like back to our normal day.
Yeah, I think we pretty much because I had gotten home from work, so it must have been around like 7:00 at night. And yeah, so there was like no partying going on by any means, but
How'd you sleep that night?
I think I slept good. I think I was just really excited. It's I can't remember how I slept. Why did you sleep like weird or something?
No, I think I slept fine. I found out in the morning though. I could only imagine if I found out at like 7:00 and went to bed a couple hours later.
Yeah, and I think also to kind of go into the next question, it's hard not to tell anybody. Like when you first find out, it's like I want to get on the horn and let people know, like this is cool, You can't, and I think that was the hardest thing.
Yeah, you can't tell anyone.
Right, for a while.
Sucks. Yeah. I remember I was like, I just wanted to tell so many people.
Yeah, anytime I the guys I worked with was the biggest thing. Like I'd go to work every day. I'm like, oh, dude, you have no idea. Like I want to tell you so bad, but I can't.
Mm-hmm. But same thing. It'd be like the people sitting next to me at work, and I'd be on my phone like Googling dad stuff. And the people sitting next to me, I would just want to look at them and tell them, we're pregnant, but you can't. Because you can, but the conversation of a miscarriage happens or something bad happens, because that's in those first 3 months, it's those first 12 weeks that something bad can really happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, it can happen at any point of your pregnancy, but those are like the statistics is something crazy, like 95%. There's a 95% chance that something's going to happen in those first 3 months, if anything is going to happen.
Yeah.
That's a number I'm just pulling out of my ass. I have absolutely no idea, no educational background whatsoever. I am making that up. No one believed that for a fact. But pretty sure I remember that was the number. And so you can't tell anyone, because you could tell people, but the conversation, if you have a miscarriage, is going to be a lot worse.
Right, exactly. And I think the toughest part too was getting to those 12 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was hard, man. That was it was hard trying to keep your mouth shut and stay positive, like crossing your fingers.
Yeah.
Was
there any times that it almost slipped out for you?
No. You know what it was? It was we had to go to. I was working, and we had a doctor's appointment that had to get rescheduled. So it was scheduled on the day that I was not working. So we had to schedule it to a day that I was working. So that's when I had to tell my boss, Ed. I said, let him know, and he was super psyched. And so then I had to leave work to go to this doctor's appointment. I don't leave work for doctor's appointments. I've worked with these dudes for 6 years, and they're good buddies of ours. And I think right there where a good buddy of ours, Andrew was, he's like, why the hell are you leaving, dude? What did I tell him? I think I told him I had a doctor's appointment.
He's always someone who can figure that out too. Tubbs, he just
Oh,
has a
dude,
way of
he had
finding
he,
things out.
he had it figured out, but I don't think he believed it. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like he knew what was going on, but it just didn't click. But
Yeah.
that was the only time it really kind of probably slipped. He would tell you today that I don't know what he'd say. I think he said he had an idea what was going on that day, but
Yeah. It's interesting how some people are like that. He is someone who will know something going on in your life before you even know it.
yeah,
Like
yeah, definitely.
that's an
Yeah,
exaggeration, but he can figure you out if he knows you well enough and you look at him the right way, he'll know exactly what is going through your head if he knows you well enough,
yes,
which is cool.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Shout out Andrew.
Yeah. So all right, so that's how we found out. All right, so how did you tell people? I remember you told me, but talk about how you told people. I think
Uh,
you told us over FaceTime because Justine wasn't
yes,
going to be able to make it to the real announcement.
yes. We told you guys over FaceTime with the what picture am I thinking of here? Why can't I?
Ultrasound.
Yes, the ultrasound picture. Yeah, that's right. But so we had bought a house. I don't know. It was probably going on like 6 to 8 months, maybe a year, and so we had a housewarming party because we bought our house in the winter. So obviously waited for nice weather, and so we had a housewarming party and invited all our friends, and we just figured it was the right time to tell people there. So we got everyone in the front yard and made the announcement and let everyone know there.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good day.
Yeah, that was wild. There's one person, my buddy Sean. He, you know, Sean. Uh, we thought we had everybody out in the front yard, but he must have been going to the bathroom. The announcement's going, everyone's clapping. Yeah, this is awesome. Congrats. We're hugging everyone. Sean comes out the door. He goes, "What's going on?"
I had no idea. I did not know that happened that day.
Yeah, dude. And then I was like, Hannah's pregnant. He goes, "What, dude? I missed it." I'm like, man, thought everyone was out here.
That's funny. Yeah, I remember Hannah saying, didn't she say you're all uncles and aunts now?
Yeah, we actually have it on. We have it on video, which is wicked sweet. It was, yeah, that was a crazy moment. That was a cool moment.
Yeah, that was funny. I do remember one of the funnier parts of that moment was when a couple of our buddies had made a bet on that because they're degenerate gamblers. And do you remember Dave, what Dave yelled afterwards? You guys, Hannah says, congratulations, you're all aunts and uncles now. We're having a baby, and everyone starts clapping and yelling and woo. And then immediately right after you hear, Stoots, you owe me $5. I told you that's what was happening today.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember that.
Yeah, and just
Funny.
degenerate friends. But so people had an idea. I think it was because, well, not people. I mean, anyone. I showed up to that party with like 6 people. None of them had any clue you guys were announcing that. I think people who really knew you guys and knew that you had been in that house for a long time knew something was happening because you had a housewarming party almost a year after buying the house,
Right.
you know, which was definitely,
Yeah,
that was one of the funner parties I've been to recently.
that was an epic night.
That was a blast. It was like everyone was kind of just relaxing, mellowed out, chilling. It was early on in the day, maybe what, 3, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it was a
Something like that.
barbecue. It was more or less a barbecue.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you guys made that announcement. The sun started to go down and things just got absolutely absurd. I could only imagine for the only sober person there, which was then Hannah, how that party was.
Yeah, yeah. Then the neighbors came over, partied
Yeah.
it with us.
Your
Oh,
neighbors
it's
came
fun.
over. Yeah.
Dude, the funniest part about that story is so we partied that night. We partied late into that night. And then the next morning I woke up, it was probably 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And I looked at out on the backyard and, you know, ping pong table, solo cups everywhere, beers everywhere. So I go out to clean up the mess, obviously. And my neighbor right next door that you can see in my backyard, there's a woman there with like a desk in the driveway. And I said, what is she doing? And I think I like waved to her and she's like, "Oh, we're having an open house today to sell this house." Like, oh, I should probably clean up this mess today.
Dude, that is hilarious.
dude, what are the chances, right? Like, I didn't have a clue. And then that morning, she's sitting there all dressed up, got her desk in the driveway, and yeah, we're having an open house today. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Imagine
But
that. Good thing she told you though, so you could pick up, or else you'd just be an
yeah, good thing I
asshole.
caught it early, because that would have been bad if I slept until noon, 1 o'clock, which I don't usually do, thank God. But
But after a night of heavy drinking, you might even wake up at 9, but just lay in bed until 12.
right,
Yeah.
how'd you tell everybody?
We told everyone it was weird because we were in different spurts with so many different people because we couldn't wait the full 12 weeks to tell family, well, certain family. We had told my in-laws because we were going to Florida. We were going to one of their cousins' weddings in Florida. So as a whole family, we were staying there with her sister and her sister's husband, who was one of my good friends, and also her mom and dad, her grandmother, and then me and my wife. And so we got there, and we found out, I found out the week before Thanksgiving, or the day before Thanksgiving, I think it was, maybe a couple days before Thanksgiving. And then we went to Florida maybe 2 weeks later, maybe 3 weeks later. So it was very early on, like not even a month into it, maybe a month into it. But we knew that if she wasn't drinking and we were staying in an Airbnb with her family for 3 nights, they were going to obviously know. Like, we all drink. She drinks. If she wasn't drinking for 3 days in a row, you can't pull the I'm sick, I don't feel well for 3 days in a row while you're on vacation in Florida.
Right, and people aren't stupid either.
Yeah, exactly. So we got away with the first night. The first night we got there, I had a couple beers with my brother-in-law Louis and with my father-in-law, and we had a couple beers, I think, and then went to bed pretty early. Like, we all got there pretty late, so I think we went to bed pretty early. Next morning we wake up and we had actually got shirts. She had the same shirt that said, "I'm a mom, I totally got this," or something like that. And then I had bought a shirt that said, "Santa's making me a daddy this year," or something like that. Or like, Santa's gift is like, it said something about Santa and becoming a daddy.
That's pretty funny for somebody who's Jewish.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no, well, so actually, story to be told on that. That comes next. So I have the Santa hat or whatever, the shirt that says that. Or I think it said Santa's making me a daddy or something like that.
Yeah.
And so we went out, everyone's having breakfast. Her family loves to cook, so they had already started up breakfast. And we went out there, we're all sitting around the table. And me and Justine, we're like the weird ones of the family where like we do weird things and like we love to like celebrate weird things. And so we had told them we got shirts for everyone and we wanted to show them. We got family vacation shirts, is what we told them. So that way it wasn't weird because we had our shirts underneath our hoodies. And so we just turned around from the table, took off our hoodies with our backs turned to them. And then we turned around, and it took a solid 4 to 5 seconds for everyone to realize what was going on. And in that moment, 4 to 5 seconds is a very long time. Everyone thinks that we're like, we got them all shirts, and then they're trying to read what's on our shirts. And then they're confused for a second. And then everyone just kind of was like, "Oh my God." And I think her mom jumped up and gave her a hug. And Louis was just sitting there. Louis just sitting there like, "Oh my God." And classic Louis just, "Oh my God." And then he's excited. And then her dad was, everyone's excited, but she's getting a hug from her mom. And I'm kind of still just standing there like, all right, okay. But then Juliana, her sister, gets up and like gives me a hug. And so then everyone was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that. That's crazy." But that was only a month into it. We
Yeah.
just couldn't get away with not drinking.
Right.
And so the whole topic of like that vacation was us having a baby, which was pretty fun. We got back. Christmas came around a couple weeks later. That's when we told my dad. We went over there and we gave him and his wife mugs that said Grandma and Grandpa, and they loved that. They were super shocked. And then we went over to my mom's and we got my brother a shirt that had said "Bearded Funkle," I think is what it said. So it was like someone's face with a beard, and it just said like, 'cause he has a beard, it said "Bearded Funkle," like fun uncle. And my mom, we were at a Barnes and Noble one time when we were still living in Florida, and I was on the phone with my mom. Justine was wandering around, and I went to look for, I was just looking around, and there was one of those kids' books, and it was around Christmas time, and it was called Schmelf, the Hanukkah Elf. And so I read it to my mom over the phone. It was like 5 minutes. I read it to her over the phone and she laughed. And then it became a joke. And so that Christmas, she had bought me that book for Christmas and gave it to me. And then when I moved out of my apartment in Florida back to Boston, I threw it out because I was like, I don't have a kid. This book is useless to me. It's an inside joke of my mom. Yeah, that's great, but I have absolutely no use for it. So I threw it out. Then I told my mom I threw it out. She got super upset that I threw it out. And not super upset, but she was like, what an asshole. I can't believe you threw that out. So I told her, I said, when you have a grandchild, I'll buy you another one so you can read it to them. And so I bought her that book. And on Christmas Day, I wrote in the cover that said, like, I told you I would buy this when you were going to become a grandmother. Here it is. And so that was my gift to her on Christmas Day. It was that book. And so she opened it up, panicked, freaked out, all hell broke loose. Yeah, so we told family first, and then we told friends last. We told friends after your baby shower, because your baby shower was like 2 days before Justine's birthday.
Yep.
So we went to your baby shower. Then a couple of us went over to her family's house where her family was, and we did the gender reveal. Which that's our next question, was how we did the gender reveal. We just did it very simple. We knew the gender before. We did a gender reveal for ourselves at our apartment, where we had one of Justine's friends. The doctor wrote it on an envelope, and then we had her friend open up that envelope, and then we had her write it down on a card what gender it was, and then we brought that card in an envelope to the bakery and asked them to open the envelope, make us cupcakes with the correct gender. They did that. We went home. We just opened it up right at home with ourselves. So we knew the gender, which was a boy, which is crazy. Another long story, because I'll keep it short though. So we wanted a boy. Obviously, you just want a healthy baby. You want a healthy baby. So we wanted a boy though. I think everyone secretly has a preference. Some people just don't want to admit it. So we wanted a boy. Justine told me one of her friends who was recently pregnant, they also wanted a boy. They not secretly, but they convinced themselves it was a girl, just in case it was a girl, they wouldn't be upset and have an upset reaction. They ended up having a boy, but they had convinced themselves it was a girl, so they were happy, whatever. So when she told me that, I started convincing myself, it's a girl, it's a girl, it's a girl. And I always wanted a little sister. Never had one. Always wanted a little sister. And so I convinced myself it was a girl. So when we did the gender reveal and it was a boy, I was like low-key upset.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, like I was kind of looking forward to a girl. And then, but then I was like, you idiot, you wanted a boy. And then you have just convinced yourself you wanted a girl, and you got what you wanted. But the trick of convincing yourself to something else just did not work at all.
Right.
It did not work. So we told family and friends that way, and then we posted a photo on Instagram to let like other friends know that we couldn't.
So we did the ultrasound for ourselves.
Yeah.
So we went for I think it's the 20 weeks, the 20-week mark. And we went to the ultrasound, and we both wanted a boy, but, like you said, you want a healthy baby, and kind of same thing, it's like, well, we're probably going to have a girl, but let's, we're both hoping for a boy. So that way, you don't get upset when you want a boy, then it's a girl. Then you're like, yeah. So we just went into it like, whatever, as long as it's healthy. And she's going over the ultrasound, and, you're looking at it, and you see like a finger, and you're like, yes, penis. That's exactly what that is. All hyped up. And you're like, yeah, okay, he's got 5 fingers. And you're like, all right, you see his foot. And you're like, yep, that's it. That's the penis. He's like, nope, that's the foot. He's got 5 toes, this and that. Or the baby's got 5 toes, and 10 toes total, I should say. And so then the lady said, well, what do you guys want? What are you hoping for? And we're like, well, we're hoping for a boy, but, as long as it's healthy, we don't really care. And the woman doing the ultrasound was like, well, it's pretty 100% positive that these are boy parts. Right then and there, dude, it's kind of like, for me, it was like the weight on your shoulders was just like, oh, like, thank God. Like,
stoked you had a boy.
Nothing against having a girl or anything, but for some reason, dude, because I haven't been around a lot of babies in my life. Like, my brother has 2. But other than that, I wasn't like around a lot. And he had Maverick at the time, his oldest boy. And it was just like, dude, I would love to have a boy, like seeing what he does and all this. And so it's like a weight off your shoulders. You know what I mean? And so that was a super exciting moment. And that's kind of right there where I think it sunk in. Like, wow, we're having a baby. Like, this is wild. That was like 4, I don't know, maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So then we just bolted. No, we went up to Gritty's, the bar in Portland where her sister works. And we showed up with a blue balloon and kind of surprised her. Then we bolted home before the sun went down and got a bunch of blue balloons, put on like white t-shirts and stuff, and like just took a picture in front of our house of us just holding blue balloons and posted it on the gram and Facebook and whatnot. So
Yeah, I remember that.
But
it's kind of perfect too because your house is blue, isn't it? Like a light blue.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the picture was sick, dude. That was a good idea. I mean, obviously we took the picture and then we FaceTimed like my parents, my grandparents and all that and just showed them the picture. And it's kind of how we let everybody know.
The ultrasound, you mentioned like the bones and the fingers and toes and stuff.
Yeah.
When you did the first or second ultrasound, did you have any idea what was going on?
No. So it's funny you say that. To this day, right? So we had our baby shower here. We did a Jack and Jill. And our friend Amanda came over. She's like a wedding planner and she does all that stuff, helps out. And so she helped us out with our party, which was super awesome of her, dude. It helped out so much. So we hung up a picture of the one of the ultrasounds.
Mm-hmm.
And Hannah, my wife, was like, isn't it crazy? Like you look at this ultrasound and then you look at him and you can see the resemblance in the ultrasound and his face in the ultrasound to him now. And right then and there, I click and I say, holy shit, that's his face? Like I had no idea what I was looking at this whole time. No idea.
You had no idea.
No idea, dude. All I saw was like a blob. I think I'd just go along with it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay, so here's his knee, here's his nose, here's his little chin. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty wild that I can totally tell what that is. So it was funny, dude. For like almost a whole year, I went with not knowing what anything looked like.
That whole time, dude, she's showing you that picture and she just goes, isn't he so cute? Because you know they do that, right? When they the ultrasound picture. Isn't he so cute? And you're just over there like, oh my God, he's so cute. You're just staring at his ass. You don't even know what his face looks like.
Yeah.
That's funny, dude. That's a riot. I also had no idea what I was looking at, but the reason why I asked you that was because I think it was our first ultrasound, maybe our second. I can't remember which one. I don't remember what we were looking for. The lady was looking for certain things. I don't remember. She didn't really explain to me what was going on. Justine knew what was going on because she's a nurse. She's been a doula before. She's been at a couple of births. She knows what's going on with that stuff. I had no idea. So this lady is looking for, she's down there and then she goes, this is the leg. And she points out the leg and I'm like, oh, awesome. And she's like, this is the right leg. And I'm like, oh, sweet. How cool. A right leg. Amazing. And then she's like, all right, let's try and see the left one. 10 minutes later, we still haven't found the left leg.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, can we fucking give it up? Let's move on. I don't need to see the kid's left leg. I could give a shit less about his left leg. Yeah. And then like 5 minutes later, she found the leg. So it took 10, 15 minutes. Maybe at least what it felt like. Maybe it was more like 5 or 10, but it was a long time. We find the left leg and she goes, oh, there it is. And instantly it clicks in my head. Holy shit. She was making sure he has 2 legs.
Yeah. I know. Yes.
Like,
yep.
We left that appointment. Yeah, we left that appointment and I told Justine, I go, why the fuck was she looking for that leg for so long? I was like, it didn't hit me till the end that she was making sure our baby has 2 legs.
Yep. I did the same thing, dude. And it was that 20-week kind of ultrasound that made like, dude, are you guys at the 20-week mark yet? You must be, right?
25 tomorrow.
So, yeah, I don't know if you guys did this ultrasound because I know you guys did the blood work to find out the gender. This ultrasound, dude, was over an hour long, and they wanted to find this finger, this finger, this finger, this finger, this ear, this ear, this ear. Just kidding. You know, the chin, the nipples, the toes, everything, dude.
Yeah,
Everything.
we
Each
had that
bone,
one.
rib. I'm like, holy smokes. I don't even know how you know what any of this shit looks like.
Yeah. So we had that
Right.
one. That was the first one we had to have right before coronavirus hit.
Yeah.
I was right before that. The next doctor appointment to follow up on that was when we went back into the hospital, Beth Israel, which has, I haven't kept up with it, but I'm pretty sure hundreds of cases. And when we went back there for that, it was scary. It's a crazy time right now. We had to be like checked in at the front desk, and they asked us if we had whatever signs and whatever, but it was insane. But yeah, so we had that one as well. But it was the one before that. That one I knew what we were getting into. There was the one before that where they don't check for all the organs and fingers and all that. They just check for like arms, legs, head, like the basic stuff that would be there at that point. Then we went back and checked for all that other stuff. But it was insane. Not that they should explain it any more than they should. They're amazing at what they do. Props to them. At least I have a wife to explain it to me when we leave. But I can only imagine if your wife is also uneducated.
Right.
Then if they don't tell you like what's going on, then who knows? You just have no idea unless you ask questions. Next section, we are on to our top 5 favorite athletes of all time. I didn't do best. I just did my favorite athletes of all time.
Yeah, that's what I did too. Just
All right.
what the first 5 athletes that come to my head that I
Yeah.
follow, that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I did. And I did all time. I didn't do current.
Yeah, I did pretty much all time.
Okay. All
but
right.
I don't go back too far.
No, me neither. I mean, we're 27 years old. If we were like Wilt Chamberlain, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. No, shut up. Yeah.
Bill Russell.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, Bill Russell could be out there though, just because we're Celtics fans.
Right. I know we both have a Celtics in the list.
Yeah.
Celtics.
Oh yeah, I almost had 2, but I didn't.
Me too.
I didn't. All right, so let's start it off. What do you want to go 1 for 1, or you want to go 1 to 5 and then switch?
We go 1 for 1.
All right, let's go 1 for 1. Who's your number 1?
So I don't see. It was tough to put them in order from 1 to 5.
You have to.
But I guess I can now.
Yeah.
Where I think in this, since we're talking like all time, I'm just thinking right now my favorite athletes. I know we're talking all time, but I might have to go with the most current athlete of them all, and he plays for the Iowa basketball team. His name's Luka Garza. Absolute stud. Absolute stud.
You are a true Iowa. What do they even call you guys? Iowans?
Iowans, dude.
You are a true Iowan. For your number 1 favorite athlete of all time to be a goddamn college basketball player for the Iowa, what the fuck are they? Hawkeyes?
Hawkeyes, yeah. Love him, dude. I love him.
You should be on. Are you on fan boards?
Huh?
Are you on fan boards?
I'm not on fan boards.
No, you should be, dude. Number 1 fan.
I did message him. If he's ever in Maine, I'll give him free haircuts for the rest of his life.
You actually messaged him?
Yes, I actually did on Instagram. I didn't hear anything back, but
shoot your shot.
No, but dude, he's just an absolute stud. He crushed the whole NCAA basketball season this year. I personally think he was not being biased because I'm a Hawkeyes fan, but I think he put up the best numbers in college basketball.
What was their record?
22-11 or something like that. They didn't have the best record.
All right.
But he had the best standalone career out of any college basketball player this year. He won 16 awards.
So you think a kid who went 21-11 is the best basketball player in college?
This year, he was the best basketball player in college.
Okay. I haven't followed college ball in a couple of years, so I have absolutely no idea.
So I think what it is that's my favorite sport. So Iowa hasn't seen a player like him ever. Like, he could have gone and played at Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, wherever, dude. He's a Hawkeye.
Is he from Iowa?
Yes.
Oh, so that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So you just love him because he was from Iowa. He went to
Dude,
Iowa
I
State.
I think that's just my favorite. If out of all the sports, I follow college basketball the most.
Okay, that's
So I
interesting.
think it's just that. And my other athletes I got on here, like I don't think I follow them nowhere. Like I don't follow them as much.
Yeah.
So that was that decision. I know it's very current. I know that. I could have had anybody. I know that. But
My question is, if we were to redo this list in 10 years, will that name even come to your mind?
yes.
Okay. And that's a
Yes.
fair name. And that's a fair name. Can't argue it.
Yeah.
Fair
No,
name.
not a lot of people have heard of him, but
Yeah. What was his name?
Luca Garza.
Luca Garza. Why do you say it with a smile? Because you know it's fucked up?
Because I said not a lot of people have heard of him, and then you say, "What's his name?"
Yeah.
All right, what's your?
All right. My number one is Paul Pierce.
Yeah, yeah. I could have had Paul Pierce number one.
Easily Paul Pierce. That guy is just the staple of my childhood.
Yeah.
He is unreal. And it's funny, I actually don't have any of his jerseys besides, I think I used to have a bunch of them, not anymore though. I have his one All-Star jersey from, I think it was like 2001 or 2002 maybe. It's way back in the day. It's the sick one, all white with the blue stars and the red letters. It's sick. My favorite jersey of all time. But Paul Pierce, easily my favorite. Easily.
Yeah.
He's just the epitome of a sloth who is athletic.
Yeah.
He is one of the slowest people I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
The fact that he is was an NBA basketball player, an NBA champion, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And the fact he brought the title, the sole title I've ever seen in the Celtics history while I've been alive, is amazing. Is amazing. And I know you're a huge Celtics fan, so that's, you know that. We went, and I also think another big thing was, I remember you and me got absolutely shit-faced the year after he got traded. And it was the night before their return to Boston, him and KG, the night before they were coming back with the Brooklyn Nets. We got absolutely shit-faced, and we bought tickets to the game.
Yeah.
We bought tickets to the game, and then we went the next day. That was the best drunk purchase I've ever made in my entire life. We went the next day. We snuck in a bunch of booze. We got hammered on the way down.
We had nips in our socks.
Yeah, we had nips in our socks. You do the water bottle trick in your jock, not in your jock, but in your crotch strap, where your belt loop is. You do the water bottle trick in there. That's a tip for anyone, not even dads. That's a tip for anyone going to a game. You get a water bottle, you fill it with booze, you smash it down right where your dick is. And if anyone in security gives you shit about it, you say, "Whoa, dude, that's my dick."
Yeah.
And they can't give you shit. What are they going to do? Be like, "What do you have in there?" "Whoa, sir, that's my penis."
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Prove it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that was epic.
So that was great. I remember I cried during the intros.
So did I. I
was so drunk. I wouldn't have cried normally. I was just so drunk.
Yeah,
They did the thank you videos. They did the intros for them, and that place just absolutely erupted when they
Dude, the goosebumps, man.
It was insane.
That was insane.
One of the best times of my life. That was
me too.
So let's hit it with number 2. Go ahead.
That would be my number 2 right there.
Really? Paul Pierce. Okay.
1 or 2. That was one, because kind of same thing, dude. He was my favorite athlete growing up. From childhood, one of my favorite athletes. I've always said, I don't know if I'd ever spend money on autographs, but I wish I'd have a Paul Pierce autograph somewhere up here.
That would be sick.
No, you're right. He brought a lot of joy to our lives growing up.
A lot of joy.
Paul Pierce is my number 2.
Yeah. And the jersey retirement a couple of years ago, I remember watching that, and I also cried during that.
I cried.
Surprise, I got drunk, watched it, and cried.
Yep, me too.
It was unreal. It was unreal. All right, so my number 2, still staying in basketball. It's funny, both of our top 2 were in basketball. Allen Iverson.
Okay, yeah.
Easily Allen Iverson. When I was a kid growing up, my favorite team was the 76ers because of Allen Iverson. It
Yeah.
shifted once I realized, whoa, I'm from New England. I should be a Boston fan. That's just how we roll. And now I hate the Sixers. I hate Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. I do not like those guys at all. I think
Fun to watch. They're fun to watch.
they're fun to watch. They just talk out of their ass and they always fucking choke. They
Yeah.
always choke, which I love. But I love the 76ers back in the day with Allen Iverson, Andre Iguodala. What was his name? I can't think of his name right now. No, not Mutombo. Oh man,
What do you think of?
there was. You know who I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
I can't think of his name right now. I'm gonna have to try and find it. But Andre Iguodala, Allen Iverson was just the shit on those teams. And I
Yeah.
think that Andre Iguodala was still in the league last year and was. I think this year he got bounced around. He did that little stint in Memphis where he kind of threw a little fit. But back in the day, I still have an Andre Iguodala jersey in my closet from when he was on the Sixers. I have at least 3 or 4 Allen Iverson jerseys still from when he was on the Sixers.
Yeah.
Allen Iverson was just the epitome of being cool. When he crossed up Jordan, when he did all those crazy moves, like he took the NBA to a new level.
He did. Yeah. And then even with the baggy clothes movement.
Yeah, dude, he just did not give a shit. And he was badass enough to be an idiot, spend all his money. But this was a rumor that I heard was that, I don't know how true this is, and not that I've heard it from anyone personal. I read it on the internet, but I think it still shows today, seeing as how he's definitely had a bounce back. You see him in a lot of basketball talks now. You see him at a lot of games, tons of that stuff. You see him back in the arena where he definitely took a couple of years where you didn't see him around at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I had heard that he told his agent, or his agent had given him some advice. You're an idiot. You're going to blow all your money. Let me take whatever it was. I don't even know the number, 5, 10, 20 million, whatever it was, and stash it away. And let's write a contract that you can't touch it until a certain time frame from here, until you're older and wiser. So he did that. He blew all his money and then got to that point where that contract became eligible again, had more millions come in, where he was older, smarter, knew how to manage his money more.
Yep.
So you're an idiot for spending all your money, but you're smart enough to sign that contract knowing you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And again, that's just something I've read on the internet. Have no idea how true it is. Absolutely no sources on that whatsoever. But if he did do that, and if that is true, super smart. Number 3. Go with number 3. Let's go.
Number 3, I think, would have to be Tiger Woods.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
Just because, I mean, I know lately the news on Tiger Woods, not a lot of people like him because obviously he cheated on his wife and, you know, the stuff coming out where he got pulled over and he had a bunch of drugs in his system or whatever. And lately it hasn't been good for Tiger Woods. But Tiger Woods completely changed the game of golf. You know what I mean? Like, he is tied for the most PGA Tour wins right now, like, which is crazy, which is 82. 82 wins, which is quite incredible.
Yeah, I love Tiger Woods.
Dude, he's good for golf. He's good. If his name is in the top 10 on a Sunday, anyone's going to watch it. And even if you're not a golf fan, I feel like you're going to watch it.
I'll tell you what, that's me.
That's going to be all over ESPN. Like, can Tiger Woods finish? Can he win, you know? And I think he changed the game. I think he's probably one of the best golfers to ever live.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's incredible.
That's me. If Tiger's playing, I'm going to watch.
Right.
If he's not, I might turn it on if I have nothing else to watch. I've been getting into a little more golf recently, but I haven't had cable in 7 years. So that takes effect as well. But if Tiger's playing, I'm gonna find a way to watch it.
Right. He's just good for the game of golf. He's great for the game of golf.
He is good for the game of golf. Cool. So number 3 for me, Tom Brady.
Yep.
That's been the only quarterback I've known my entire life.
Right.
Drew Bledsoe until 2000, 2001. I was 8 years old in 2001.
Right.
I don't remember that.
Right.
I remember him, but not really all that well. The first time I remember football really is the Super Bowl party we had when New England played the Rams. And funny enough, I was so young, I rooted for the Rams because I liked the colors of their jerseys. I remember a couple people like Eddie Cruz. You know Eddie Cruz. He was
Yeah.
there. Really good friend from back in the day. Still a really good friend today, but just grew up with him from a super
Right.
young age. He was there. My brother. They never let me live that down. That I was a Rams fan that night. And
I was a huge Rams fan when that was going on.
yeah, their jerseys were sick. They were cool
Yeah.
jerseys. And
Yeah.
honestly, even to this day, the Patriots jerseys suck. They're just
Yeah.
trash.
Right.
They're three gross colors that
Mhm.
just. I mean, I don't. It's not that I dislike the colors. I just dislike what they do with the uniforms. Like you see every other team out there switching things up. You see every other team having some cool jerseys, crazy jerseys, whatever. But Tom Brady, easily Tom Brady. He's just
So will you buy a Buccaneers jersey of Tom Brady?
no, no.
No. So you're
Honestly,
not.
I want him to succeed, but at the same time I want him to fail.
So I know tons of diehard Tom Brady fans. Tons. So since I'm not a big NFL guy, I kind of wonder, do you go with Tom Brady and root for him? Or do you go more towards the Patriots? Are you more of a Patriots fan or more of a Tom Brady fan?
Oh, I'm a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
I'll root for whoever's under
I
center.
know some people are probably more of a Tom Brady fan.
Yeah, I'll root for whoever's under center in New England.
Gotcha. So you would root more for the Patriots than Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you will still hope he does. But you said you want him to fail.
See, that's the tricky thing because I want him to do good, but I also want him to suck.
I mean, I think the thing of it is since I'm not an NFL guy, like you got to think about what he's done for New England.
Yeah, and that's the part of me that wants him to do good.
And so I think he's brought what,
6
rings?
Yeah.
So it's like he's only got a couple years left. And
Yeah.
I don't know any of the background detail, but it sounded like the Patriots weren't going to help him get weapons.
No. The Patriots are to blame for this.
Right, and that's what I've gathered from it.
It's
So
by far the Patriots to blame for him leaving. They didn't load him with weapons. Yeah.
Right.
They didn't load him with weapons. They never wanted to pay him. He's taken so many pay cuts to have weapons loaded around him. And what do? They don't do anything to get weapons around him.
Right.
You know, like all he does is take pay cuts so they can pay wide receivers to be around him and make them win rings.
Yeah.
So what do they do with those pay cuts? Nothing. They did nothing with those pay cuts. They traded for Mohamed Sanu. Mohamed Sanu, great guy. I'm sure he's a great guy. He just didn't do so hot. He was a great second or third option on the Falcons when you have Julio Jones running down the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not a good first option. He's not going to replace Josh Gordon or Antonio Brown.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think you gotta give the most upright respect to Tom Brady and hope he does good. And
oh yeah, I hope he does good, but I also hope that he fails because I don't want to see him do good out of New England. But I get why he left to try and prove that he can do it outside of New England. I get that. I would probably do the same thing because I think there's a point where you're happy for the fact that the fans in New England are so great and have supported you so well, but you also probably have that little bit of, and I think he said this on a radio interview, you have that little bit of doubt where, could I do this without Bill Belichick? And then you also have that point where, could Bill Belichick do this without me? So let's see who
I'm excited to see.
Yeah, me too. If we have an NFL season this year.
Right.
I thought, how funny would it be if there's no NFL season this year, Tom Brady signed with the Bucs and has to retire as a Buccaneer, not playing one snap for them.
That would suck.
What a storyline, huh?
Yeah.
So, all right, let's hit it with number 4. Go ahead. No, you didn't even do number 3.
I did number 3, Tiger Woods.
Oh, Tiger Woods. Yep. All right, go ahead.
Number 4, I think, would have to be Ricky Fowler, another golfer.
Okay, someone we talked about last week.
Yeah, and I'm a pretty big golf fan. I don't know what it is. I think it's just, I don't know what it is, but I just thoroughly enjoy golf. Makes me happy. Mm-hmm. And when I first got into golf, I thought Ricky Fowler was just the man. He's about our age. I think he's like 3 years older.
Yeah.
Like we said in the last episode, he's just a bro, man. And just getting into golf, he was just like that bro. And I'm like, I'm gonna root for this guy. for the rest of the time that I watch golf. So I think he's number 4 on my list.
Number 4. Good shit.
Yeah.
Ricky Fowler. I like Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, he's just a stud, man.
Yeah. I'm not too keen on his haircut, but I like Ricky Fowler.
You know, he likes the longer hair. When he first got into the tour, he had hair like down here, which was different. Nobody had long hair on the PGA Tour. Yeah. So he stuck out like a zit on a cow's ass.
That's a dad reference right there. That's a dad reference. Yeah. All right, my number 4. This one's coming out of left field, or actually it's on your way to left field. They're going to stop at shortstop. Nomar Garciaparra.
Wow.
Yeah, I honestly I couldn't get that name out of my head. When I thought top 5 athletes of all time, I thought Paul Pierce, and then the second one that came to mind was Nomar Garciaparra.
Yeah.
But I think we talked about last time, I'm not even that big of a baseball fan anymore. But as a kid, I was a big baseball fan. Played baseball a lot. Was a big baseball fan. But Nomar Garciaparra, you could ask anyone our age, Nomar Garciaparra, what's his pre-bat dance? Or not dance, but routine. Everyone knows. It's the little wrist action, double wrist action. You know, he just double wrist. That was the cool thing to do back in the day. Nomar Garciaparra, easily number 4. I have no idea what happened to that guy. They traded him away at some point, I think, way back in the day.
Dude, if he came in the barbershop tomorrow, I probably wouldn't even know what he looks like.
That's a good point. You know what?
It's that long since I've seen a picture of Nomar Garciaparra. Yeah.
I think he would be one of those guys where I say, wow, that guy looks super familiar. Where do I know him from? And I never put it together until he leaves, and then someone says, you know, that was Nomar Garciaparra. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit number 5.
Number 5, man. Number 5 is an athlete that actually I've liked since probably I started liking Paul Pierce. I think it's a baseball player. I think it's due to the fact that I don't follow baseball whatsoever. I think that's why he's number 5. But it's Derek Jeter.
Oh.
Derek Jeter, I grew up a Yankees fan. My dad's a big Yankees guy. My little brother is a huge Yankees fan. Both huge Yankees fans. They'll watch every game. And so I grew up on Derek Jeter in the Yankees. And, dude, he's a class act. He's probably the most class act athlete you'll meet out there. You never read about him. He's always out of trouble. You never read about him.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the thing, whether it comes to money, whether it comes to getting in trouble, whether it comes to doing this, that, or anything. You never read about it. So he's just a class act. And, you know, I wish I could have put it. If I followed baseball, he'd probably be number 1. But I don't follow baseball. I never really followed it. But for some reason, I just love Derek Jeter.
Yeah, I have to agree. Even from being a Boston fan and just being a big Red Sox fan when I was younger, I just grew up hating Derek Jeter. But he's one of those people, same thing being a big Celtics fan growing up. I hated Kobe Bryant. But once they both retired, it was like an instant switch for both of them. Where it was like, wow, okay, now I just respect you as a person. Because they're good dudes.
Yeah, perfect dudes, yeah.
You know? Like, Derek Jeter's a great guy. I've never heard anything wrong about Derek Jeter.
And that's the thing, dude. Never heard anything bad. Kobe Bryant, you've heard about the whole scandal he was involved with. Yeah. But you hear about everything with every player. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Everyone.
But with Derek, you never heard anything.
Never heard anything with Derek Jeter, no. But
none. I said.
Like, imagine if Derek Jeter died, that'd be the same thing as Kobe Bryant right now.
Oh, 100%.
If what happened to Kobe happened to Derek Jeter, same exact outcome right now, everyone would mourn. It would be like everyone lost someone.
Yeah.
They impacted a whole generation.
Right.
You know, like Kobe growing up, I grew up hating Kobe. And that's why I respected him so much. Like, I texted one of my good friends. His name's Elgin. He lives over in Cleveland. And he's a huge basketball fan. I knew him when I worked with him back in Florida. And we've still stayed in touch ever since. He has a daughter. He's a dad. And we've always just shot the shit over basketball constantly. And I remember that day when Kobe died, he texted me and he was like, bro, Kobe's dead. And I was like, I was like, no way. And I Googled it, and right there, that was when I was like, holy shit.
Very sad moment.
And so Kobe could make this list if it was top 5 athletes of all time for me. Like just top 5. He could make this list. For me,
Yeah.
personal top 5, not just like favorite, but like top 5 best and most respectable. That would make my list. But so the day he died, that was insane. I feel like the same thing would happen though. If Derek Jeter died, which God forbid, hopefully he does not, wish him all the best. But if he did, it'd be the same thing as Kobe, where you just respected the
Yeah.
shit from him, and he was a role model for so many people.
Yeah.
I mean, we wore his shoes at your wedding.
Yeah. We definitely did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Jordans. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome. Number 5 for me, we already talked about him last week, Kelly Slater. Just easily
100%.
Kelly Slater. Just
Yeah.
love her. I love surfing. I love everything about Kelly Slater. He's a great dude. He's just trying to go out and just innovate the game any way that he can. He's created the best whirlpool you've ever seen in your, or not whirlpool, the best wave pool you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah. That's recent too, right?
Last couple of years, yeah, maybe 2 or 3 years now. Yeah, he developed that. It's an insane amount of money to go there for the day, but I'll probably never go. One, because I'd love to go one day, but it's kind of insane. It's like a couple $1,000s, I think, to rent it for the day. But it'd be cool to do with some buddies. But anyways, that's off topic. Kelly Slater, easily top 5 favorite athlete. I've been watching him ever since I was a young kid. You think of surfing, you think of Kelly Slater, and that's just the way it goes.
Yeah. 100%, dude.
Yeah. So that's top 5 right there.
Yep.
Cool. Anything else we want to talk about? Anything else you got in your mind?
Not much, dude. Not much. Yeah, not much.
No, same. Well, that's a wrap then. We just took it for like over an hour. That's a wrap. One thing I would say is check us out on social media. Instagram, dads being dudes with an underscore in between, dads_being_dudes. Check us out on YouTube, Dads Being Dudes channel. Check us out on Twitter. I just started tweeting yesterday, so I don't even know what the fuck our handle is, but check it out in the description. We'll link it there. And also, what's the other one? We just got on TikTok. We got on TikTok. I haven't made it yet. Probably the most dad thing I'll ever say. I have no idea how to use it. I logged on and could not figure it out to save my life. So I'm going to try and work on that. So I'll link our TikTok at username, tag name, whatever the hell it is. I'll link it. But no promises anything is posted on there.
What about Spotify?
Spotify, yeah, we're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're on YouTube for the podcast. You can also check us out on, what was the other one I was going to say? What's the other social media? Facebook. You can check us out on Facebook.
Yes.
Find us all the places. Dads Being Dudes is the page. And,
find us anywhere.
That's that.
Yeah, it's a wrap, bro.
We're wrapping it up like a condom.
That's it. That's it.
Cheers.
Cheers, lad.